Okay, I'm excited because I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. Do you remember either of these two pizza places? Chances are you're familiar with at least one. Stick around to discover what the connection was between Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza. Hi, gang, this is Troy, and welcome back to Restaurant Rewind. If you like restaurant history, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to set your notifications so you don't miss any of this juicy goodness. And share with a friend. Today we take a closer look at the connection between Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater and Showbiz Pizza, both successful chains that each pioneered restaurants that combine family, food, games, and live entertainment. And by live, I mean animatronic, computer-controlled robot animals. They were very similar, and after you hear the story, you'll know why. So let's get started. Combining his experience with arcades and theme parks, Atari founder Nolan Bushnell wanted to capture the essence of a theme park and an arcade filled with Atari games, all in a family restaurant. Having sold Atari to Warner Communications in 1976, Bushnell stayed on for a bit and convinced Warner execs to turn his idea into reality. On May 17, 1977, Pizza Time Theater was born in San Jose, California. With over 100 video games, pinball machines, and other types of games, it was touted to be the country's largest pizza parlor. Inspired by Disney and other theme parks, Bushnell's new concept was based on the premise that while patrons waited for their orders, they would pass the time by dropping coins into arcade games. Atari arcade games. When their food arrived, entertainment continued via live performances featuring a whole cast of animatronic characters such as the Warblettes, Jasper T. Jowls, Pasquale, Krusty the Cat, and of course Chuck E. Cheese, displayed in what was called a wall portrait setup, as you see here. It was successful, however Warner and Atari just weren't interested in moving the Pizza Time Theater concept forward. Tensions continued to grow between Bushnell and Warner execs. A non-compete clause kept Bushnell from leaving and competing in the video game market, but since Warner and Atari had a hot new item in their hands with the Atari 2600, they basically told Bushnell to go and take your pizza/arcade/rat band thing with you. So Bushnell purchased the Pizza Time Theater concept from Warner and left. Seeking to begin franchising right away, Bushnell caught the attention of Bob Brock, the largest franchisee of Holiday Inn hotels. Looking to diversify his company, Topeka Inn Management, Brock signed a multi-million-dollar co-development deal with Bushnell in 1979, allowing for the development of hundreds of Pizza Time Theater locations in 16 states in the South and Midwest. This new pizza franchise division was called Pizza Showbiz and would do business under the Pizza Time Theater moniker. Being an experienced businessman, Brock was busy getting things in order for this expansion, and began to have doubts that Bushnell's concept wouldn't be easily reproduced by competitors. His concerns were soon brought into full light when Brock was introduced to Aaron Fechter, who was proof that Pizza Time Theater wasn't the only company producing cool animatronic characters. Touted as a tech genius, Fechter owned creative engineering. He had just created the Whack-A-Mole and had just released the Wolfpack 5, a group of singing robot animals: Wolfman, Fats Gorilla, Dingo Star, Beach Bear, and Queenie the Fox. Ironically, Nolan and Bushnell had tried to get Fechter to partner with him several times, but for some reason Fechter just wouldn't bite. Remember Brock's fears about competition? The introduction to Fechter didn't help. Brock felt Fechter's creations were much better than Bushnell's and was concerned he might be competing against them in the future. Just months before opening their first franchise Pizza Time Theater location, Brock backed out of the deal with Bushnell, citing misrepresentation. Unlike Bushnell, Brock was able to convince Fechter to partner with him to create a brand new show for his new restaurants based off of Fechter's Wolfpack 5. And with that, Showbiz Pizza Place Incorporated was born, opening its first store in Kansas City, Missouri on March 3, 1980. Pizza Time Theater sued Brock and Topeka Inn Management for breach of contract the very same month that Showbiz Pizza opened. Brock said, "Back at ya," and countersued for misrepresentation. This back-and-forth legal battle would last about 2 years, and ultimately Pizza Time Theater won, with Showbiz Pizza forced to pay Pizza Time an estimated $50 million over the next 12 years. Despite their legal battle, both chains were riding the video game wave, and both were enjoying the same huge success. Topeka Inn Management renamed itself Brock Hotel Corp. Meanwhile, Pizza Time Theater went public in 1981, which ironically caused Brock Hotel stock to increase as well. This success allowed Bushnell to focus on some other endeavors, like a new startup called Catalyst Technologies. Things were going great, until they weren't. Remember the video game wave they were riding? Well, that wave crashed in 1983 when the video game market was flooded with cheap knockoffs, causing the video game sales to plummet. With much of Bushnell's other slumping projects being funded using Pizza Time stock as collateral, the crashing wave was a death knell, and in January 1984, Bushnell left the company, and in March, Pizza Time Theater filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. On the verge of extinction, the next year in 1985, in stepped Pizza Time Theater's savior, Showbiz Pizza. Yep, Showbiz stepped in and saved the day, purchasing the failing brand in its 51 stores. With the two brands combined under one umbrella, Showbiz Pizza Time was born. Over the next couple of years, corporate leadership was adjusted and finances were restructured. Many changes were made in the stage shows. The business was streamlined, and over a few years, things improved. A new store opened in 1987, something that hadn't happened in 3 years. In 1988, Showbiz had bounced back and streamlined enough to go public. They were solid again, but still needed more tuning to stay above water, so more streamlining ensued. Unfortunately, these changes slowly phased out Aaron Fechter and creative engineering. It isn't hard to imagine that through the challenging financial times, it made sense to use the technology they owned, the technology from the Pizza Time Theater brand. And so by September 1990, Showbiz severed ties completely with Fechter and creative engineering, and began what they called a concept unification. In just over 2 years, the two brands were merged into one, retiring the Showbiz name, Billy Bob, and the rest of the rock-afire explosion, replacing them with Chuck E. Cheese and Munch's Make-Believe Band. By late 1992, all traces of Showbiz were gone. In 1998, with all units now completely themed to Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz Pizza Time Incorporated becomes Chuck E. Cheese Entertainment Incorporated. Today, there are over 500 Chuck E. Cheese locations, and they continue to innovate to keep the brand relevant. In 2017, it was decided to retire the animatronic stage shows in favor of live appearances by Chuck E. Cheese and the gang. And by live, this time I mean humans dressed in costumes. I was going to do 2 separate videos, but as you can see, it really is impossible to tell the story of one without the other. If you loved Chuck E. Cheese growing up, you might feel a little grateful that they're still around. If you were like me and grew up with Showbiz, this news might even make you a little upset that Billy Bob and the rock-afire explosion were retired. How do you feel about the animatronics going away completely? Leave me a comment below and tell me what you think. You absolutely have to visit showbizpizza.com. You won't believe the amount of resources there, from audio and video clips to a detailed comprehensive history to collectibles and fan submissions. You've got to check it out. Don't forget to subscribe and share with a friend. Love you guys, and thanks for watching Restaurant Rewind.